those reasons are very clearly and well established. People leave their own country due to war, persecution, increasingly because of climate change, and very validly, some people are indeed economic migrants, and they have a right to move to another location so that they can provide a better life and a better lifestyle for themselves and for their families. That is something that we must always keep in mind, and we must avoid situations where people are forced to get into small craft and small boats to undertake such a journey. Therefore, there should be provided legal and safe routes, as we have said so often before, so that people will have an opportunity to present their lawful and valid case to the authorities and have it heard in a timely fashion without putting themselves and their families at danger and at risk. The experiences can be summed up in the word encounter, and I've had the privilege of being able to encounter those who have experienced and have managed to escape from persecution, from war. I've spoken to those who have actually crossed both the Mediterranean Sea and the English Channel in small boats. I'm thinking of particularly those from South Sudan and Eritrea. I love the story. I love recounting the story of the one time when I went to visit a group in northern France, a group of young men on a cold November morning who had slept out overnight in denim clothes. They had built a little fire in a clearing from branches that had fallen from the trees, and whenever they saw us approaching them, we were approaching them with some refreshments, they stepped back from the fire and said, "Please come closer to the fire." That was a wonderful experience, that even though these young men had lost everything, they'd lost their country, they had to flee from their homeland, they hadn't lost hospitality and the ability to welcome themselves. That is one experience. Another wonderful experience, which I love to relate, is occurred in Napier Barracks, which I visited with the papal nuncio almost 12 months ago now. The papal nuncio invited these young men in Napier Barracks. "What would you like?" he said. "What would you like?" Now, one might expect from them to say, "Oh, what we would like is a house, a car, lots of money in this country." There was total silence. The nuncio had to ask again, "What would you like?" And one young man put up his hand and said, "I would like to see my mother." And I think that indicates the clients, if we can call them that, those with whom we are dealing, the asylum seeker, the refugee, the migrant, they have hearts, they have their humanity, and they manifest it in the way they treat each other and in how they treat those who come to them. Every person is made in the image and likeness of God. Each individual has a dignity which must never be undermined, and it is the duty of the Catholic and the Christian to promote, to uphold, to defend that dignity and ensure that it is never neglected. What is so wonderful about this document, I think, is that it provides principles, specific principles, that can be used as one engages in the current political and social context. But it's also a wonderful document on which to reflect, because it speaks about so many different areas, the global perspective, which I mentioned, and also it touches on trafficking. It also speaks of the right to migrate, the right not to migrate. So it is a document which can provide very valuable and thought-provoking reflection, and I sincerely hope that the Catholic community and the wider community take the opportunity to read the document, to reflect on it, and to see in it that in our belief and understanding of humanity, everyone is made in the image and likeness of God, and that is our starting and our concluding point.